Well, the state of Pennsylvania and 3 counties there admit to incorrectly reporting information on the removal of ineligible voters from their rolls. According to Judicial Watch, the state's alleged unverified revised figures are for Bucks, Chester, and Delaware counties. Judicial Watch believes the new numbers are just still a small fraction of the inactive names. And joining us now is Tom Fitton with Judicial Watch. Tom, welcome to Faith Nation. First off, how big of a sample are we talking about? How many people have been purged from the Pennsylvania voter rolls?
Well, it's hard to tell. They say about 30 to 35,000, maybe 40,000. Their initial numbers were 20 or so. So we're not sure where they're getting the new numbers, but they're woefully insufficient. And they essentially admit that the numbers they gave the federal government about what they were doing were incorrect. And then they give the court 2 sets of numbers, one by the counties and one from the state. So when Pennsylvania doesn't know how many people are on their rolls and who's being removed or not, you got a real problem. And that's why we initially sued, because we were seeing indications that weren't keeping the rolls clean as they were supposed to. We also sued in North Carolina. So between North Carolina and Pennsylvania, you're talking nearly 2 million extra names in the rolls that probably shouldn't be there. And we just sued yesterday in Colorado. Their voting rolls are a mess. They have about half of the counties, it seems, have more people on the rolls that are living there and eligible to vote. And all that's concerning given this big mail-in ballot push.
Tom, any reason to suspect, you just mentioned those 3 counties in Pennsylvania, that this is widespread throughout the state, or is it just limited to those 3?
Yeah, numerous counties got major issues there, and that's admitted in the filings by the government or Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So it's a widespread issue. Many counties aren't removing virtually anyone from the rolls the way they're supposed to. And we're not asking the people who are living there be removed. We're asking that people who have long been active, they have a process to remove people, so over time the rolls are cleaner, which is what law requires.
Tom, how did you decide to target these states? You'd mentioned Pennsylvania and North Carolina. What made you guys look specifically at these states?
Well, you look at we looked at the states nationally and found these states had problems. And you see the numbers, and the numbers kind of indicate there's something wrong. You ask more questions, and usually you get the runaround, which suggests even further problems, and that's why we're in court.
Tom, you mentioned Colorado was...
Quickly, guys, in Pennsylvania, when we warned one of the counties, Allegheny County, they quickly removed 69,000 names from their rolls. So we know there's an issue. The other counties just want to fight.
Tom, we have a little less than a minute left. You'd mentioned Colorado included in this. How could this impact the election in November?
Dirty election rolls can mean dirty elections. When you have a pool of names that are inactive and ineligible to vote, that's an opportunity for fraud. And of course, when you have supposedly only names that are active are being mailed, but when you've got a huge list that isn't being cleaned generally, even the active names become suspect in terms of their eligibility. You don't want ballots going to places where there aren't people to vote. And that's what it seems is going to be happening in too many places this election season.
All right, Tom Fitton with Judicial Watch. Tom, thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome.